the dream, I think, is to daily vlog, right? Like, so that's one of my new big ideas, and I just said that in the other video. But the problem I'm running into is that my phone is vibrating right now as we speak, because I got another text message. I think one of the biggest differences between being a high school teacher and being like an elementary teacher is that there's no point in the day where I'm really like handing my kids off to someone. I'm not giving them to the gym teacher or the art teacher or sending them to lunch. Like, they're always in here. And if one group leaves, another group comes in. So today my entire prep was spent looking for 4 different dudes that different teachers have come to me and asked me to speak with. Because that's what we do. We work as a group, and I'm not like the guy, but I am part of the group of people that are just constantly like looking out for students and trying to see what they need and talk to them about what's going on in their lives and what they might need help with. And so I look really kind of short in this situation. And I almost fell off the stool. I appreciate that and I love it, but it just takes up an enormous amount of time. And to be honest, that's my favorite part of the job. Like, I love teaching English. I think there's tons to learn through books. I think it's a mirror through which we can learn about ourselves in, but it's really those conversations that is like my favorite part of the work that I do. So, but they do take up a lot of time, and there's not always enough time to kind of get things done and to talk to people and do what needs to be done. So although I will continue to try and like do these every day, that just takes precedence over what I'm trying to do here. So something that came up today that I think is worth sharing with you all is we did a journal entry in class today, and the journal entry was, what is one of your favorite characters of all time, right? So from comic book, movie, TV show, video game, favorite character of all time. And I shared that Mr. Fezziwig from A Christmas Carol, not Christmas Story, is one of my favorites of all time. Because growing up, my mom would, and so if you don't remember who Mr. Fezziwig is, he is the one that Scrooge and Jacob Marley, not to be confused with Bob Marley, work for. He throws this huge Christmas party every year and makes everyone stop working. Everyone's invited, and they have these like really great, amazing times there. And so growing up, my mom would open our house up on Christmas Eve. And what's up? Trying to make dreams come true over here. Yeah, but you're not on camera when you said that, so I'm just saying. My mom would open up our house during Christmas or Christmas Eve, and anybody could come. So I had friends that growing up, my friends were Jewish, and they would all come to my house. Friends who came from families that were like broken or not really there would come over our house, and they would spend the night, and my mom would get them like something for Christmas. Nothing big, not a big deal, but like get something for Christmas. What's up, man? Making some YouTube gold over here. There was something about, and then even as we got older, when my friends were like drinking age, everyone would drink at my house on Christmas Eve, and then they would put together toys for the foster children that lived in my house, and sometimes those toys weren't put together so well, but that's a whole nother story. The idea there, though, is making this warm, open place where children can come and adults can show up that are feeling like they want to connect. They want to be a part of what's going on. So my favorite character. And then the characters that the students shared, it was really eye-opening. Like, what do you see as important? Did you like someone because they were funny? Did you see a movie that like I didn't know anybody saw, like A Vampire in Brooklyn, the Eddie Murphy movie, or The Mask from Jim Carrey, and then why someone even liked that movie? And then one class got into this conversation about where a number of kids picked Batman, The Punisher, and Deadpool. And that conversation went a way different way. The Deadpool oh my gosh, how do I even put this? I'm so glad that we do these journal entries because it really opens the kids up and makes them talk about things and think about things and share their story a bit. And so everything from Deadpool, the kids were saying they loved him because he didn't care about what anyone thought. And then I was arguing back that like, yeah, but Deadpool, like Wolverine, they don't care, but it's to keep people at bay because they don't want to be hurt again, because they're really dealing with an enormous amount of hurt. And so they make jokes and they push people away and they use sarcasm to keep people at bay so they can stay safe, so they don't get their feelings hurt again. But then we look at someone like the Punisher or like Batman, they are filled with rage. They're filled with rage of all the things that have happened to them in their lives, but they found a way to funnel that rage for the forces of good. That rage isn't owning them, they're owning it. Or rather, that rage isn't consuming them any longer. They are consuming it on purpose so that they can use that rage to get things done, to make a difference. And that conversation really blew up, and then we were really talking about that, and it was awesome. And then one class even watched a clip from Jocko Willink, who's a Navy SEAL, and I'll link his channel below. He has a great podcast, and he talks a lot about anger and rage.
When I realized that losing your temper was a sign of weakness, as soon as I made that connection, I said to myself, this is weak. I'm going to try not to do it anymore. When I was 13, 14 years old, I thought, hey, if I could get that rage going and people are scared like I used to feel, that's a positive thing. And then, like I said, as I got older, now now you're talking 16, 15, 16, 17, I realized, hey, this isn't cool. This isn't strength, it's actually weakness. Mm-hmm. And when I realized it was weakness, and I didn't realize that overnight, but I started getting the idea that that was weakness. And now when you see someone that is in control, and even when bad things are happening, they're standing stoically saying, okay, let me take another look at that and I'll get it done. Then you realize, okay, this guy is really unflappable, which is a lot more impressive.
And teaching all boys, and my guys have been through a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of them, not all of them, but I find that most of my students, if I ask them if they have anger management issues, they say yes. So I just think it's important to talk about that stuff, but you can also blend it into your lesson. You can talk about these real world topics, these things that are actually relevant to the students, and then tie them in. In the crappy Odyssey movie that we watched, there's a part where Odysseus tells his son to be angry is easy, but to be angry at the right person at the right time, that takes some level of finesse and control over yourself. We're not just reading these stories. We're not just reading the Odyssey because it's going to be mentioned for the rest of your life. We're not just reading it because I said so. We're reading it because I think we can pull these lessons out of it. And this is part of it anyway. We can pull these lessons out of it to really hold a mirror up to ourselves and see who we are and why we operate the way that we do, and to see that we're not so different. Our hero's journey isn't so different from everyone else's. So that was it. Then we had Independent Reading Day, and I'm continuing to read Think and Grow Rich as my new book because I'm trying to, think and maybe grow rich. That's it for today. I'm gonna go home, hang out with the family, do a bunch of editing tonight, play some Fortnite, and take the beast for a walk because it's a nice day out. Until tomorrow.